Yo, welcome back on in. It is ESL Challenger League season number 48. We're into day 2 of the playoffs, and we're pretty excited about that because it does mean we get to catch up with Tyloo. And if you were watching yesterday, you would know that both Pilsky and I think Tyloo might actually win season 48. But that's a conversation for a little bit down the track. How's things going, Pilsky? You've just come back from the gym. You told me you're feeling ready to go. You're looking pretty hyped and pumped up. So yeah, feeling good.
Looking more red than anything. Yeah, definitely. Today was my light day, so I'm definitely keen for an Asia series. Although, given the fact that it's going to be Tyloo Bromo, I don't know how long it's necessarily going to last.
I like this little red and blue contrast that you've got going on there. It's pretty cool.
Oh, thanks, man.
But yeah, I would tend to agree with you when it comes to Tyloo and Bromo, especially after what we saw last night. Like Bromo, I don't know. I mean, they had some good moments, definitely, but that was a real interesting series. Let's just put it that way. They did end up actually managing to sort of get it over the line 2-1, and the final map actually looked pretty decent for them on Mirage. But you could just tell that they're not a team that's of the same caliber as Tyloo. Eye test-wise, they've got a long way to go. So we'll see how they go tonight, but here's how the bracket has shaped up so far. Now, interesting couple of results yesterday. I don't think anything too sort of out there necessarily. We would have definitely expected to see Atox making it through over IHC, although apparently IHC did just beat them today in a different tournament, so I don't know what's going on there. But anyway, Atox had to play with a couple of subs and still made it. They'll be playing against Lin Vision. Their game's starting in about an hour's time. Tyloo and Bromo, obviously, that's the one that we're going to be looking at. And down there in the lower bracket, Say GG team did knock out God's Reign, so no more Indian representation, but credit to them for making it into the playoffs for the first time. And GR Gaming, I think we're all quite sort of interested to see how that run goes for them through that lower bracket in the lead up to the Asia RMR.
Yeah, 100%. I think GR Gaming, didn't they beat both IHC and Atox back-to-back to be able to make the RMR?
Yeah, either IHC and Atox or Chinggis and Atox. I think it might have been Chinggis and Atox.
Oh, it's Chinggis, you're right. It's Chinggis. So I don't even know. It doesn't look like they played IHC recently, so that might be a little bit of a different matchup for them. Yeah, I think GR, exactly like you said, eager to see what they're going to be putting together at the minor. Still, about a month away, 3 weeks or so. They've got Rare Atom first up over there. And like you said, if they're able to top 4 this tournament, that can be a little bit of land practice over there in China right before they have to play the RMR, nice little warm-up. As well as the fact that if you make top 4, all you need to do, I think, is, win a series or two, and you can, on land, you can potentially be making your way into ESL Pro League, which would be the first time, I think, an East Russian team. I mean, these guys in general are the first time an East Russian team, I think, is doing very much of anything, as far as I know. And we've been following the Asian scene for quite a while. So, yeah, going to be very interesting to see how that continues to develop. And I think, yeah, it's a big question for me, like how that's all determined as well, because like you get a full Russian nationality team that gets pushed into the Asia region. I wonder when the waters are going to start to get a little muddier and we're going to get some other Russian players kind of floating across into a team like that once they prove that they could qualify, to be honest.
I don't know. So, it has to be something to do with the geography of it. Like you must have to be living in some part of Eastern Russia, because I don't know. Like, you do actually look at the results that GR have had if you take a look back at their Wikipedia page, and like they actually aren't playing in traditional European events. Like it really is all just like Asia sort of events. So, I don't hate it necessarily. I don't have anything against them playing in Asia. If that's where they're going to play and that's the only region they can play, well, yeah, might as well play there. Anyway, we're getting a bit into the weeds. Let's focus back in on Tyloo and Bromo. We can have a look at the rosters for tonight. There shouldn't really be too many surprises. Again, for those of you that were here yesterday, you'll be caught up to speed with Bromo, and everybody knows Tyloo at this point, although, unfortunately for Tyloo, it hasn't exactly been the entry into the scene that this star-studded roster would have wanted. They were, I guess, touted to be the number one team in China, and you can still make your argument that that is maybe the case. I probably would, but unfortunately, they didn't make it to the Asia RMR, and so now there's 2 Chinese teams representing at the Asia RMR, both of whom are not Tyloo, and that obviously, again, means that Tyloo will not be making it to the major. Maybe they'll play in a show match or something like that, but aside from that, yeah, it's been a bit of a disappointing start for Tyloo, and hopefully they're going to be able to get back on the bike and roll along, because I guess at this point, something like an ESL Challenger League is probably their most important tournament in the next couple of months or so.
Yeah, see King listed on the roster there. Wondering if that's going to be the case tonight, or whether we will get Starry in the server, because, I mean, on HLTV it says Starry, and that's been pretty accurate so far. So I'm hoping that we do have Starry in the server, and I don't think he's played for Vision this season, really. So that was more of a case last season where he was beating Tyloo and stopping them from getting one of those slots, funnily enough.
Were you there last time we watched Tyloo? Because Starry he has played games in this season of ESL Challenger League for Tyloo. Okay, yeah, just making sure.
I think so I'm just going off the graphic, but yeah, pretty sure that we should see Starry in the server. I think the big storyline for me in this matchup is, Tyloo should win it every day of the week. Bromo, this wildly inconsistent team of kind of up-and-coming, Chinese players, how much damage can they do? This is kind of a Chinese tryout for me. You know, if you're doing, and it's how it works, at least in our small scene. I'm sure it's a similar thing for China, less so because it's a small scene, more so because of the language barrier that is inherent in picking up players for Chinese teams. You need other Chinese players. So as far as I'm concerned, this Bromo match against Tyloo is going to be a little bit of a chance for some of these Bromo players to showcase that they can play really good against the best team in China. And that's going to, as far as I'm concerned, I wouldn't say necessarily turn the heads of Tyloo, because Tyloo is probably not going to change their roster anytime soon. But Rare Atom and Vision, I could definitely see making changes based on the results of the RMR and after, the Perfect World Tournament. And I think the first team that you'd be looking at is Bromo.
Yeah, maybe. And one of the players that you'd be looking at is going to be our player to watch for tonight. I think we went with Spine, did we not? And he was obviously someone that played reasonably well yesterday night. I think the methodology really was, well, we could pretty much pick anyone from Tyloo, and that is a bit of a broken record at this point. I feel like I've seen Mercury on this graphic every other day, or Jam Young every other day. Let's go and see if maybe there's a storyline here for Bromo where if they do well, how is that going to happen? Maybe it will be off the back of someone like Spine.
I think so too. I think, Spine, even yesterday against the Huns, he had a couple of big games, where he also had a lot of opening duel success. Like, he was winning opening duels and not really conceding many first kills to the other team. So he's a player that can definitely deliver you a lot of raw impact in terms of just going and taking over the game. And I think that these are the kind of skill sets that we usually see in China from the likes of Starry, Mercury, and some of the guys on Vision as well. They have a bit more of an aggressive rifling core when they're feeling themselves, when they're playing well. So I think Spine is the kind of player that these teams could definitely incorporate into their rosters.
Yeah, I mean, as far as which way we're going to be leaning for this matchup, predictions-wise, I think it's pretty safe to say we're both going to go the way of Tyloo for this one.
Yeah.
No real surprises. Obviously, again, like we said yesterday, Tyloo's our team that we would predict to win the whole thing. 70-75% confidence level that we put in on that graphic. And so if we're 75% confident that Tyloo's going to win the whole season, you'd have to probably be 100% confident that they're going to at least win this game, because this would be one of the, I guess, easier opponents that they're actually likely to face throughout this run. Presuming they win here, you'd be looking at probably a Vision, obviously. If not that, then an Atox, although a weakened Atox. So maybe that's one that Tyloo would be pretty comfortable getting through. But yeah, there's a few decent teams actually in this qualifier. And again, I think they're not up to the level of Tyloo, but I could see them maybe taking a series here or there. So yeah, pretty confident that Tyloo's going to get this one done against Bromo. Be a good testing ground, though, like you say, for Bromo to see what they can do against a team like Tyloo, who is indisputably one of the best in their region, at least.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely the best team in China, as far as I'm concerned. Maybe the best team, second best team in Asia. You definitely can't go past Mongols. That'd be a bit ridiculous at this point. Yeah, I'm keen to see what Bromo can get done here. I would say even getting a map would be a massive win for them. This should be a 2-0 for Tyloo every day of the week. So for Bromo, I want to see them push Tyloo close. I want to see them potentially try to steal a map away. And I'm keeping an eye on who's actually able to hold up to the task of playing a team this strong.
Yeah, let's have a look at the veto here and see if that's going to unearth any insights for us. I had a little bit of a sneak peek at it earlier, and we've got Mirage, Inferno, and Anubis. Now, the first thing that strikes me when it comes to this veto is that Mirage into Tyloo is a pretty bold choice. Tyloo don't mind a bit of Mirage here and there, and I know it's a decent map for Bromo. They showed us as much yesterday, but yeah, this is Tyloo that you're talking about, so that could be a pretty difficult one for Bromo. Obviously, Inferno, it's a map that everyone's pretty comfortable on these days, and Tyloo going to be leaning in toward that one. Failing that, obviously, we go towards Anubis, which, again, looks like a pretty decent one on paper for Tyloo, so I'm pretty happy with that as far as Tyloo's concerned. And to be fair to Bromo, I don't think it's going to be very easy to beat Tyloo in a veto, but yeah, that's about as good as it really gets, I'd have to say.
I think for Bromo, maybe riding the momentum of their game against Huns last night, they just smashed Huns 13-2 on this map, so I think they're feeling themselves a little bit on Mirage. We'll see how that works out for them. I think Inferno was Huns' pick, which Bromo looked a little bit lost on, especially in one of those halves, so that's going to be a pretty tough one for Bromo to overcome as far as I'm concerned, and I don't really expect us to get to Anubis. I think, if this game's going to get close, it's going to get close on Mirage, but Tyloo should still be able to close it out, and then we're probably heading into 2-0 territory from there.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, look, I mean, I think at this point, we've kind of said it all, really. What is there to say about this matchup that isn't pretty obvious on face value? It is one of the best teams in China against an up-and-coming team in China, even maybe a middle-of-the-pack team, right? Like Bromo, would you have them over a Steel Helmet or a team like that? I mean, I think that even in terms of that matchup could be a reasonably close one. So when it comes to going up against Tyloo or a Rare Atom or a Lin Vision, I think there's just such a significant drop off after those three teams to the rest of China that, yeah, this should be a bit of a cyberbullying type situation.
Yeah, have to call the bully hunters and roll them out. We'll see who's going to be doing the majority of the bullying. There's just so many candidates on Tyloo. They're such a strong team at the moment. All of them have got pretty good stats across the board. I think more so you're looking at Mercury and Starry, though. It's insane that we have both of these guys on the same team. It's a bit of a case of in Tier 1 CS when people name the best aggressive riflers in the world and they say, imagine if these guys were on the same team, how insane would that be? Well, this is pretty much like the all-star roster of China, putting all of the best pieces on the same roster. And yeah, I think sending Mercury or Starry in there to do a little bit of bullying is going to be very difficult for Bromo to deal with. And with how up and down individually these players are, unless they hit their ceiling tonight, they're going to be getting out-skilled, and they're definitely going to be getting out-teamworked and kind of out-tactics by Tyloo, that's for sure.
Yeah, interesting to note that if you would take a look at the top players from the season so far on HLTV, again, very small sample size, given it's only last night, but it is fine at the top there, 1.51 rating over that series yesterday night. We have him obviously as our player to watch for tonight's game. If I'm Spine, I think I'm taking a picture of that one before the game starts, because I can't imagine that he's going to be up there after this game. I don't know that that's going to persist, unfortunately, for him. But let's find out. We're going to go into map number 1 and see whether or not Bromo can withstand this matchup against Tyloo. I think that's really the big thing. It's like, can they even survive? Because really, it should just be Tyloo rampaging through this one.
It's got to start on Mirage as well. Their Inferno looked very shaky yesterday, and it's been a go-to for Tyloo for such a long time now. I really would be surprised if they get anything done there. So we'll head into it. Bromo's map pick here on Mirage, which means that Tyloo gets to start on the CT side. I do believe that it was Bromo starting CT last night. I'll double check that. That they had a really, really hot start. Let's fact check myself.
It was 10-2 CT side.
So I mean, they're going to have to be kind of self-starters on the T side now. Interestingly enough, Brashef, aka a million different aliases, is someone who has played against some of these players a little bit in the past, I'm pretty sure. Even some older editions of these rosters, to be honest. This is kind of the new wave of Chinese talent that honestly Brashef kind of predates some of these players.
Yep. If you're wondering who that is, that's Fjorn, as is listed on...
Equal. Used to be known as Equal on like IG and some of those rosters.
Yeah. He's gone through a few iterations, but that's who he's listed on the websites, on HLTV and Wikipedia at the moment. So if anyone's doing their research, wondering who that is. But we'll get into the pistol round, and honestly, bit of a slow start. Like, 30 seconds in here, not a whole lot happening. Bromo have kind of fired a shot or two over towards that B bomb site. Now having a little bit of a look here into A, but nothing really doing apart from some mid control. But I suspect Mosey has got a bit of an idea there. He's spotted the head, spotted the player at top mid. Now he's waiting for the boost into mid window. Don't necessarily hate this though from Bromo. They're getting a lot of space right now, and Tyloo not really doing a whole lot about it. Just trusting their A hold, and when you got G there with dualies, maybe that's not a bad shout. It does get traded back on down. Now it's on to the rest of the USPs to try to hold things down, as Mercury needs to get in there as well with the dualies. He can't so far. Bomb plant's gone down, and a bit of a weird pistol round here from Tyloo so far. But honestly, it looks like they might actually still be able to get through it. Mercury now tasked with the one-on-one clutch. Doesn't manage to hit that headshot. Still looking for it. Still has a little bit of time, but it is running away from him. And I think now maybe it is gone. He's desperate to try and get that peak, but it's too little too late, unfortunately.
This is played perfectly by Brashev. Very nice one-tap in towards middle, and just being set up for success, boosted up outside window. Bromo winning themselves the pistol. Mercury just going to have to tuck his tail. Got saved himself some light armor and the dualies here, so we'll see if there's going to be any kind of investment from him. Could get himself a Famas or something like that, drop the dualies elsewhere if he wants to go for something like that. But this is exactly the start that you want to see for Bromo. They need everything to go their way in this matchup if they're going to have a chance against Tyloo tonight. Need those pistols, maybe need a cheeky couple of clutches to go their way as well. Bromo anticipating a force buy here. They are not playing around. Full AKs and Galils up across the board, and they're correct. Tyloo investing a lot in this round. As I mentioned, Famas comes out for Mercury. Tyloo charging up in with the MP9s. Anti-flash from Zai, not even ready for 3 players to peek him, and now tucked into the corner. Rage is getting hunted down. G runs at him with the jumping MP9, and this is falling apart already for Bromo.
Yeah, just a little too well drilled from Tyloo, wasn't it? Like, they were very prepared for those extra players there, and honestly, it kind of felt like Bromo were, in a sense, ready for that aggression from Tyloo. They were prepared for that fight, but Tyloo just a little bit more switched on and getting that opening kill, trading things down one by one, and it's worked out very, very nicely for them. I mean, this could be a massive swing round with Tyloo picking up a couple more AKs if things go to plan. Mercury with the FAMAS top of connector is going to spot out one, and Miami's made a couple of footsteps, so Tyloo very well aware of where Bromo are. Going to be another AK into the hands of the CTs.
This is a nightmare. Going to be a massive economy swing, especially if you can get some top mid control and pick up some of those rifles. Mosey spotting out Miami, but punished on the peak, but 3 players all ready to swing with rifles here. 35 seconds on the clock. Miami still making noise over on A ramp side, still making steps. Tucks himself back away. G's made it across towards triple, hand in hand with Jam Young. Mercury still shouldering over from stairs, but with so much time ticked off the clock here, it kind of just looks like Miami's trying to save or go for damage, something like that. Peeking out now, but can't really find too much of anything, and it is just going to be an AK save. It's 5 seconds. Like, he's still kind of peeking a little bit, and I'm worried that he's going to die after time here. But he's going to tuck himself into ramp safely. And Tyloo immediately forcing up, immediately winning round number 2. That is going to throw a spanner in the works for Bromo, and I think going to bruise the confidence early on. You're absolutely flying after winning that pistol, but getting caught off guard by a dry pick. You're expecting a flash top mid with the CT scaling up behind it, and instead you just get caught by a triple dry peak, and things kind of fall apart from there. So we'll see if Bromo can pick themselves back up. Of course, with the loss bonus not built up this early on in the game and an AK in Miami's hands, they are going to force up and try to give this one a crack.
Yeah, what's going to be the go-to? Miami's just set up at A. Might have had a spawn for that. Just set up on A ramp. The rest of the lads are putting some pressure on B, but not really causing too much concern for Tyloo here. A couple of nades there into apartments, and that'll send Bromo packing.
Gonna have to win some duels here. No util. In fact, that's all of their util invested in middle for a smoke towards top con and into window. Tyloo trades a smoke into con, making it difficult for Bromo to take that control. Flash going into mid and doesn't really do anything but kind of minimize risk. Again, they're going to try to boost up Brashov in window to find some impact, but there's so many players here for Tyloo, and Stari's already plucking some heads. That is just not going to work. You can't just be dry walking up con like that.
No, not going to work against a team like Tyloo, though. Miami, nice couple of shots from him, will be swiftly dealt with by Mosey. This, though, is getting a little bit wonky. Tyloo losing some guns here and there, definitely. Bomb on its way through. Suspect Starry has heard that. He's definitely spotted it. And he's going to try and do his best to deny the cross into the site. Rage sharp again with the deagle. They use it onto Mosey, and actually, they might find a way to make this one happen. A double swing onto door would be fantastic right now. Mosey knows he's under pressure now, but he deals with Brashov pretty nicely and gets Rage. So, crisis somewhat averted for Tyloo. Bromo, though, might be incentivized to give it another crack here. They got a bomb planted down. They know they've done a lot of damage to the CT economy. Money's not really there for Bromo.
We'll see what they come up with. It's definitely a weird situation in terms of the money, like 2.5 to 3k. A couple of these guys can definitely afford Galil armor, but the rest will be down to Mac 10s or Tech 9s. Miami finding some impact there. Brashov walking through the middle of the map, boosted up into Murder Hole. Was a very winnable 1 or 2, but this is another perfect example of where Bromo falls apart. You saw this yesterday against Huns. Their mid to late round and their XVX is all over the place, peeking out one at a time and not really being able to coordinate. It's honestly, I have to say, some of the basics that Bromo doesn't do particularly well in the mid to late round that really lets them down sometimes.
Well, just Eagles this time. So still wanting to do a little bit of damage to Tyloo's economy, but not over-investing in their own.
Yeah. I mean, it's a reasonable investment. And this is a classic, really. Just Deagle, split pit. It's tale as old as time when it comes to these Chinese teams. Brashov's already been punished by Jam Young, though, over in the B apartments, looking for a pick over there. And Bromo, I mean, there's just no cohesion or plan in this round. They just look a little bit lost, kind of walking around the map here.
Split pick. That was the idea. Didn't really get too many picks of their own, and G spotted out an extra member there as well. So Nade's going to get tossed in for good measure. Doesn't actually end up doing a whole lot of damage, but Mercury set up on top of stairs, ready to take some fights. Will get his head banged off. But very comfortable round in the end, has to be said for Tyloo. Be nice if Miami could cheekily get away with one more there, but won't happen. And Tyloo up to 3-1. And it feels like the business now actually gets to get underway as we head into round 5, which will be the first gun round for Bromo.
I'm sure these Bromo guys are kind of like the puggers in the Chinese scene, the way that they play. Like, I reckon, you know, if you got Chinese FPL, you probably got most of these Bromo guys kicking around in there and playing with the Tyloo players and the guys from Lin Vision and Rare Atom when they're around. You know, they unfortunately just have not really found much cohesion as a team, it seems. Despite being together for quite a while now. Lot of damage onto Mercury, courtesy of the util, but the flash is still going to go over the top from Starry. Contesting middle now. Top mid smoke gets broken. Die is already across, but punishing Mercury, who took a lot of util damage early on. It's an easier kill for Bromo to secure. Slip out Palace. 2 players peeking out together. Do manage to trade G, but Mosey is still keeping things going. This fight inside connector could be absolutely pivotal. Brashov trying to miss himself a little bit of a timing.
Look at this, though, from Mosey. He's crept all the way to A main, and there's just no way Spine's going to be expecting that. Smoke's going to go down. It's too late to save Mosey, but Starry might actually be able to catch the bomb on the cross. He has. And Zai will have to tuck himself into Sandwich. Hope that Brashov can make something happen here. He'll also be spotted out, and so far, Starry doing a lot of damage, but not getting any kills. Bromo.
Yeah, they're so scared of peeking Starry, though, and you can't really blame them. That's just not going to work onto Jam Young. Zai with the bomb. I mean, what can you really do?
Hit some headshots. Get the bomb plant down. Definitely could be worse.
They're reading it as B. A little bit lost here, Tyloo. Triple going to be, for a 15 HP player, one of the places that will definitely get you killed if a little bit of spam comes through here.
Jamyoung's got a nade. It's going to go into firebox, but now his position is known, and there's that spam. There's just no hope. So, another round for Tyloo. Got a little bit sort of expensive, I guess, but you know, beggars can't really be choosers, and at this point, Tyloo, I think, are just happy with the rounds to establish themselves on the map. But it is starting to balloon out a little bit already. 4-1. Tyloo looking pretty good. Should be somewhat of a save or a half-buy kind of a round here from Bromo as well.
No, I think they'll force here, to be honest. I think they need to keep the pressure on. They could half-buy and go for a little bit of damage, but honestly, I don't really feel like they're using that their utility that well anyway. They are going to go for a half-buy and try to do some more damage, but like with how close some of these rounds have been, it's been 1 or 2 players surviving a lot of these rounds for Tyloo. I mean, case in point there, not using a utility very well. The window smoke hasn't even hit, and that might get Brashov killed here if he continues to peek forward. Stacked up behind a Molotov inside of B, though. The Tech 9 hits coming in. Jamyoung trying to buy time for Starry to get on the rotation. Over on pillar side, one player spotted, scaling across towards Van. Miami held a shot on the Tech 9. They've overlooked Brashov in middle again there, Jordan.
Yeah, a couple of shots headed in his direction, and luckily for Tyloo, G's been able to get one before the plant went down, which at least will put it back to the 3-on-3, which is obviously more doable than the 4-on-3, but a couple of retrieved weapons, and indeed, a tough retake to make here. You've got a couple of smokes for Mercury and G. They could use those, dribble them out, try and use them as progression smokes. Instead, they're just going to go for the contact play into the site, but they've got to be quick, and Brashov grabbing one. G set up on the line nicely to make sure that that exact trade can't come through. And Tyloo will win the round. A 3-on-3 retake on the B bomb site does work out. But again, expensive for Tyloo.
Yeah, I mean, that's what Bromo was going for. It was a winnable round, though, if they just played the XDX a little better. And I feel like a bit of a broken record. Like, that is just a clear gap in their gameplay right now that they haven't really tuned up despite a long time playing together. It's something that they're going to have to rectify. Double AWP on the T side coming out for Bromo. They do sell it, though. Never mind. Thought that they were going to commit to that. But like you said, with that getting expensive for Tyloo and a couple of rounds where they've dropped a couple of players, there is potential for Bromo to be able to get back into things here. See how they go about it. Once again, flash up over the top of middle. Sorry, not choosing to take a duel in towards Catwalk instead as Jamyoung deep in B apartments. Rage trading him though, which means B is weak, and you're already seeing the rotation coming back through across from Murder Hole from Mercury here. Starry, the closest player lining up to there. Brashov looking for the trade. Rage a little bit out in no man's land up on top of B apps, and this round has just fallen apart again.
Yeah, Tyloo just a bit too good individually, too solid. You know, they're in their positions. They know what they need to do in that kind of a circumstance. And just watching it from Sari's perspective, thinking he's going to try and do something. He's going to activate because he knows that they've lost B. So he's got to get something elsewhere, and does just that. And a couple of other individual duels go over to 1 or 2 more of the Tyloo members. Brashov narrowly avoiding death as G will miss a shot, but his chances are looking pretty slim here. Mercury pretty aware of his position, and 10-3. Hey, I mean, talk about, you know, player to watch and whatever. We do choose Mercury a lot, and yeah, he's doing very well for himself tonight. So 6-1 scoreline here for Tyloo. Unfortunately for our actual player to watch, Spine is not having a great day. Certainly not in the realms of what he was able to do yesterday.
Yeah, and Brash and Bromo are struggling on the T side. You know, they're aggressive rifler that wins a lot of opening duels for them and usually has a pretty good time on the T side is kind of not really having too much impact here. So I think that's why you're seeing such a dominant scoreline in the favor of Tyloo. Bromo have got to find a different way to make things work here. But let's be honest, this T side has just been super uninspired. Bromo you know, they're not really such an in-depth tactical team. So if the players aren't stepping up and performing above and beyond, they're going to get bashed by Tyloo tonight, unfortunately. And, you know, so far, that's what's happening. See what they've come up with after the tack timeout. Small to window once again. Pressure on connector. It's a much more pacey round here for Bromo. 3 players already shoving straight up the guts through the middle of the map. Spine deep up catwalk here. A lot of T-smokes on offer. Starry pushed off the line for now. G with the AWP up inside apartments was not expected by Rage, and Bromo have lost that first pick.
Might be about to lose another one here as well if Brashov tries to do anything tricky on A. It's a nice position for Spine to find himself in, but couldn't do anything with it. Brashov actually manages to open it up onto Mosey. Lost a lot of his HP, can't go backwards anymore, and the nade is just there from Tyloo. I mean, the cohesion you can see is there for Tyloo. Like, they are covering each other off so nicely. The comms are flowing really well. It doesn't ever really look like they're going to be in a situation where someone's caught off untraded or something like that. They're really just working nicely as a unit at the moment.
Yeah. Miami, I mean, did a nice couple of shots, but it wasn't going to be coming together when you're getting quad peaked like that. He did about everything that he could. 7-1 for Tyloo. And Brashov, I have to say, is probably the only player that's really turning up for Bromo right now. Miami, as far as I'm concerned, has been having quite a lot of exit frags so far, and it's been left last alive multiple times. This is the perfect example of it. Like, these 2 kills just don't really have any impact, whereas I feel like Brashov is at least getting up in the thick of things and actually trying to make some plays, or has converted some rounds for Bromo at least. Or the only round that they won, the pistol.
Back to just the Deagles. Wishful thinking at this point.
I mean, again, like, it's just, you're dry peeking G on A ramp with the Deagle and re-peeking, and then what is this? Like, we're just running out one at a time out B apartments with no util to support, and we bought only Deagles this round. Like, this is not going to work. This is literally like MM strats at this point from Bromo, and when you're picking Mirage, you know you're going to be starting out on the T side. When we're this deep in ECL, guys, that's not good enough.
Yeah, especially when it's your map pick. So.
And, you know, you look like... I'm getting to the point where maybe I'm being a little bit too much of a hater at this point, but, like, Spine, like we said, 1.5 rating, fantastic player against some of these lesser teams, and you wonder why he wasn't picked up by Rare Adam, for example, when a lot of other people were. Well, you look at a performance like this, and I think, you know, you're kind of understanding why.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, can't really fault Rare Adam for their decisions. That team's looking not too bad at the moment. Quite eager to see what they're going to be able to do at the RMR, but it's a conversation for later on, as this push into mid is not quite working out for Bromo. It just seems like wherever they go, G is ready and waiting with the AWP. He's been on A for a while. As soon as they decide to go middle, he's like, "Ah, I'm here, by the way."
And the problem playing at a lower level like this, I mean, nice from Rage, only going 1 for 1 though. And again, it's just disjointed. Like, it's people peeking one at a time, making individual plays, trying to take individual timings. Now it's the lurk out of A and B at the same time with the bomb left in T's forward. It's like, what is the goal here, guys? We're winning some duels, but there's no cohesion. There's no game plan from Bromo. Miami's going to go back for the bomb now. And once again, I think for like the 4th or the 5th time this game, he's been left last alive. And, you know, to pick up on that G point that you were making, some nice movement from him. You know, when you're playing a top tier AWPer, it's just not something you're used to playing against at a lower level. And the util's not good enough from Bromo. The spacing, the trading is not good enough to be able to deal with a top tier AWPer. And G is full on punishing them. Like, people are just walking into his crosshair and he's getting the easiest kills of his life.
Oh, well, Miami with a bit too much faith in that Molotov. And Tyloo's so rich that they can trade the AWP out for an AK. G wants a scout. That would be interesting. But very quickly refunds that one. This was nice from G. Just confident.
But like, where's the util to make his life difficult from Bromo, you know? We're just peeking into him and he's just clicking on you. Nice and easy. Flash up over middle. Mercury's in unders, looking to contest. G also supporting. Starry's going to come out catwalk in the second here in combination with another one of his riflers. I think it's Mosey lending more support for Connector. The entire team is here from Tyloo, and no one on Bromo's hitting any shots yet. That's pretty much the round here. Just a complete collapse on middle. G is ready for Spine. Spine hit a couple. Rashev's still alive here in a winnable situation, but that was the duel he needed to win. That's going to be 10-1 for Tyloo.
Yeah, it's kind of looking like a bit of a go next angle. Go next
Yeah,
half, maybe go next
Inferno.
map.
Let's go on to Inferno. That's going to go great, guys.
Out of the frying pan into the Inferno is what I've heard said many a time. Yeah. Bromo looking a bit more like bro no tonight. Oh no.
Yeah. G, actually going to lose that duel to Miami. Nice shot. Give credit where credit's due. The rest of Bromo here as well. Trying to scale out. Flash up over the top of A-Ram. Catches a lot of players. Sets up Mosey nicely. Whoa. Beautiful movement as well. Mercury catching one in transition. Dropping himself a smoke for safety. Again, Brashev making some impact happen in middle. Going to put himself in a winnable 1-on-2.
Whoa.
Jam Young's a little too sharp. Beautiful stuff from Tyloo. Almost a flawless half after just barely losing the pistol in a clutch situation. They win 11 straight. That's insane.
Yep. And honestly, if the one round that you're going to get on your map pick is the pistol round, that ain't it, dog. That just ain't it. So, Bromo, unfortunately, you know, we normally at this point we would say, oh, well, they've got a lot of thinking to do. They've got some time to chat going into the second half, whatever. I don't think it matters. Like, how do you come back from this? You've only got the one round. I'd be thinking about Inferno at this point, but either way, it's half time, and it's not looking very good for Bromo going into the second half of Mirage. So, we'll see what they can do when we come back from the break. 11-1 in that first half. Don't know that this second half is really going to last too long, but maybe Bromo can win the pistol, do something there. I guess first protocol is going to be ensuring that Tyloo can not get the bomb plant down, and then also winning the pistol. That would be best case scenario for Bromo. Let's see though, as it's going to be a B take, and there's not much of a defense set up on B at the moment. Brashaf is going to work his way up short. He's been spotted out by Starry. There's players filtering all over the site, and that is a nice shot from Brashaf, but Zai did go down on A. Rage, oh, he might have an angle there to actually deny the bomb plant. Didn't go for it. There's a couple of holes in this one from Tyloo, but so far they're holding on to it pretty nicely. Headshots for Rage! He gets the 3K. And now just Jamyoung, the captain, the IGL of this new look Tyloo, to try to clutch it out. The tap was in, and Bromo, thanks really to Rage, are going to win themselves another pistol.
Hell yeah. Let's go 13-2, guys. Win both pistols, and that's it. You're going to get the buy-through here from Tyloo for sure.
Yep.
Galils and Armor going to be coming out. Wow, what a sequence from Rage, though, on the USP. Very sharp shooting. And it's just, man, it's just little flickers of brilliance like that from Bromo that you look at some of these players and you go, wow, imagine if the consistency was there. But yeah, that's been, I mean, actually, you know what? They've been very consistent so far in this game of Mirage. I'll give them credit where credit's due. It's maybe not in the way that they would have liked. Full M4s coming out here for everyone, but Zai, well aware that Tyloo wants to go for a little bit of a force buy here. Mosey trying to apply pressure towards this B site with Starry, selling a little bit of a fake going forward, trying to find that entry to draw the rotations back across. There's 3 CTs here, but in the meanwhile, Miami's being caught on the cross on A. They've lost the pick on B as well. Bomb going down on default here. Brashov, that's the freest kill of his life, but he's still way too far out of position to make this one work. Spline's going to pick up Starry top middle, but without kits and with the smoke in connector here, this is going to be very difficult to get back in. Oh, they found a kit. That might help.
Yeah, but it's still a 2-on-3. Very, very solid post plan as well for Tyloo. You've got players in pretty much every position you would want. It's a great crossfire. So tough to break, and wow, you run straight into the blender. This is going to be a 13-2. And Bromo have won both pistols.
Yeah, I know, bro. I literally said as soon as I won the pistol, I'm like, bomb's gone down. This is a 13-2, Jordan. And that's exactly what's going to happen. You are right, though. That was a beautiful round in general from Tyloo. Everything went the way that they would have wanted. They caught that A rotate. They pulled 3 towards B with just 1 player on the entry with a little bit of util over the top. But that 3-on-2, that crossfire was absolutely perfect. Fast A play now for Tyloo. Only Deagles and Armor to be able to hold. Bromo are going to have to hit some insane shots here to be able to hold this one.
They've been pretty good with the Deagles. I will give them that. But wishful thinking still. Spine through the smoke will grab himself at least 1 more kill. How many more can he get? I dare say not too many would be the answer. Bomb plant's gone down in that meanwhile. It is just luck of the draw really here for Bromo as they continue to try spamming through the smoke. They don't have many other options. Finally, Zai's going to try his hand at a little push up the stairs there, and it's not worked out at all for him. This is easy pickings for Tyloo. And it will be a 13-2. There's no doubt about that one. Rage is really just prolonging the inevitable at this point, but have a look at that wall of smoke. It has not gone down for the entire round pretty much, and that is that. Bromo with a 100% pistol round win rate on Mirage. But that's it. That's literally all they got. That's unfortunate. And Tyloo had a pretty much 100% win rate on anything that wasn't a pistol round. So you tell me which one you think is more important.
I think Tyloo got to work on those pistols, because if they play some better teams, that could be a problem. Unfortunately, you know, Bromo out of luck here in this upper bracket game. I think anybody that's taking on Tyloo in this form, they're going to have a tough time of things. I'm kind of wondering, though, like, I know that this is a lesser opponent, but, you know, Tyloo looked incredible in that game. This is such a sick roster to look at, and obviously a bit of a super team coming together. But in some of these close qual games, and when the pressure's on, maybe they haven't been playing exactly that well as we just saw. So I'm wondering if there's a little bit of a pressure factor around this team that, can be a bit of a difference maker, because they just absolutely bashed Bromo there.
There always has been, right? Like when you go back and look at the Vici into Rare Atom, into Cyclone, into Tyloo iterations of this roster, and we always thought, oh, maybe Advent and Kaze are the problem. But what if it's Jamyoung and Mercury? What if it's Jamyoung and Mercury are the problem in these qualifier matches? I don't know. It's just going to throw that little bit of spice in there, maybe. But yeah, they do look phenomenal, and I'm pretty sad we don't get to see them at the Asia RMR, but them's the breaks, unfortunately. Talking about our player of the match, Pilski, and I did say when we were talking about this, and you said, let's choose Spine, I said, are you really going to do him like that? And you absolutely did. You locked it in. And let's just have a look how you did him. Did him pretty dirty. 5 and 15 he went. 40 ADR. Poor Spine. He's gone from a 1.5 rating yesterday to that's probably like a 0.5 rating off of map 1, I would say.
0.5? That's probably less than a 0.5. I'm not going to lie. That might be worse than a 0.5.
Whatever. I'm not a mathematician, bro.
Look, at the end of the day, Spine played bad. Bromo got smashed. If Spine plays good, they have a chance. And that's why he's the player to watch. Because you're watching to see if the Bromo's going to have a chance or not. I have to say, like, Miami, for me, although he had decent stats that game, I don't think he had that very much impact. He was last alive a lot. I think he was playing for stats a little bit. I think, honestly, the player with the most experience for the side of Bromo, and the player who was actually finding some impact and making some plays was Brashaf. So it's good to see one of the OGs, and actually, he is the highest rated player on Bromo, at least in the HLTV games, going into this series. So it's good to see that 13-2 can deliver some impact, can make some plays, can win you a round or two against the best team in China. So definitely someone to keep your eye on, because he's already kind of a known quantity in some regard, and maybe he could be a good piece on another Chinese team too.
Well, we'll have to see how things go. Obviously, there's still at least one more map left to go in this series. I say at least. Really, I think it is just one more map. We've got Inferno up next. It is Tyloo's map pick. Don't go too far away. Time for us to take a short break, and then we'll see how the rest of this series is going to play out. Jump back on in. It is Tyloo and Bromo right now. Scoreline 1-0 for Tyloo, but I don't really think that that tells the tale of what we got to see there on Mirage. Obviously, Bromo's map pick. They won both pistols. That's it. That's the end of the story. Period. You would think it would be a good start for them. You know, get things rolling, get the pistols. Yeah, maybe a competitive scoreline. No, it was 13-2. Is what it is. Tyloo just better. Are they going to be better on Inferno? I'd have to say I think they probably will be.
Yeah, I thought that if Bromo was going to have any chance in this series, it was probably going to come on Mirage. They just had it. In fact, they 13-2'd Huns last night, and now they've been 13-2'd themselves. So, unfortunately, bit of a rude awakening for them, perhaps. And they looked a little lost on Inferno yesterday against Huns. A little bit all over the place, and that's something that Tyloo will take full advantage of. This has been a map that they have had in their pool for quite a while now throughout their various last couple of iterations. With this core, playing with stand-ins, playing with the coach in the roster, they have always looked good on Inferno, and you're expecting the exact same here in this second map.
Yeah, most definitely. We just need to see everyone across the board for Bromo really stepping up, and I don't even think it's necessarily about that, although that is one factor. Like, you could see that Tyloo were just a little bit more switched on an individual level in their positions. They were much quicker to react to situations than what Bromo's individuals were. But more so, it comes down to that cohesion that we see from Tyloo that just looks like it's on a completely different level in comparison to Bromo. You know, they're swinging together, they're throwing util that, like, one guy's like blocking off a position with a molly and the second guy's throwing a nade in, and that nade's like perfectly placed because he's been pushed into this spot by the molly. You know, these are the kind of little things that are getting like communicated in 2 seconds or not even that for Tyloo working out. And for Bromo, you know, could you have even really seen someone flashing someone in on that first map? I don't really, you know, like, I'm sure there were instances of it, but, you know, it didn't really feel like there was that kind of stuff going on for Bromo. It was just like, all right, we're going to go in, we're going to try and do this and hit some shots, and hopefully that works. And it did work in the pistol rounds, but apart from that, it didn't work.
I think Bromo kind of feels like a pug team to me. Sometimes the strats can kind of even boil down to what you might see in an MM game. You know, that level of disjointedness, and then some occasional flashes of some good team play, some individual brilliance. But they are just not on Tyloo's level at the end of the day. So, look, they've just pretty much had the worst game possible despite winning both pistols. Let's see what they've come up with. Let's see if they can show us any resilience and put together something a little bit more impressive than that. Reactive utility ready there for Tyloo. G thinking about flashing them onto half-wall, but there's no real use to be making any sound cues unnecessarily. Brashov ready with the reactive flash, Spine ready with the reactive smoke, and we'll see how much Bromo can get done on this B-side defense as the execute comes in.
Should be a pretty good flash here for catching Spine. Util's getting tossed in by Tyloo, but the entry's not going perfectly to plan. Eventually, it kind of gets pulled back. That was a nice attempt from Zai. Got himself a double. But yeah, pretty much just the set execute from Tyloo. Everybody knows what they need to be doing, where they need to be looking when they're making that entry. Entry pathing works out nicely. And they have themselves a 2-on-3 post plant.
And again, it's looking like another one of these really nice, well-drilled setups. Double dark and new box. It's taking their way back in here. Rage, a couple of pot shots in towards the two players over on dark. The little jiggles over on new box coming out. G's taken out Rage already, and it's a triple swing there from Tyloo to close it out. Never even had a chance at trying to attempt that retake there. Bromo a little bit too tentative, and once they make their way past barbecue, that's kind of just the point of no return. Tyloo punishing immediately, and this time Bromo haven't even got a pistol to their name.
Yeah, it's going to go from bad to worse, you feel like, from Mirage to Inferno, which is definitely saying something considering the scoreline was 13-2 on that first map, but Tyloo did choose Inferno, and Bromo didn't look so hot on it yesterday, so quite a few ticks in the notebook here for Tyloo. A couple of crosses for Bromo. Anyway, into round number 2, and it is just going to be the full stack on the A site here from Bromo, with Tyloo for the moment looking to try and take some map control towards Banana, towards brackets. Just taking things nice and slow. Don't want to be dropping anything against these pistols. And so far, so good.
Yeah, a little dink comes out, but Tyloo negotiating it pretty well. Good movement from Mosey with the MAC-10 here. Smoke comes into library. Flash up over the top of Graveyard. Still a couple more CTs to dig out of the site here. Do get at least Mosey, so a MAC-10's going to hit the deck, but that's where the good news ends. And Tyloo putting the pieces together pretty easily. Plant goes down at the end of the round as well for a little bit of extra cash. And now we look towards Bromo's first gun round here. See how many of them buy up the head armor, because they've definitely spotted out at least a couple of MAC-10s and Galils there from Tyloo.
Full set of rifles here for Bromo. Get to see what they're going to be able to do on this map and how competitive they really are going to be on this CT side. Hopefully, it's going to be a little better than yesterday, or maybe even a lot better, considering their opponent today is a lot stronger as well. Looking for some banana control. Already eating a grenade at the top banana there.
Yeah, it's just util pressure and info denial from Tyloo on Banana here while they get themselves ready for an A-set play. They clear out close towards porch side. Mercury's been able to take brackets by himself. Tyloo currently smoked out of carpets. are getting slowed down by a lot of util for Bromo, which is allowing the rotations to come back across here. Brashev's made it into Library. Spine's in Speedway as well. So this is where Tyloo, feeling like they've actually missed their timing window here, are going to throw a progression smoke for Mercury to maybe try to find some impact or an entry over towards jungle side. And the rest of Tyloo turn their attention to retaking back towards Banana.
Ooh. Mercury gets the spot onto Spine. And in that meanwhile, Banana has definitely been taken by Tyloo. So no doubt this is going to end up being a B finish for them. Bromo's starting to get a bit antsy over towards A, but if Mercury even gets away with 1 here, which I'm surprised that he even gets away with 2, the round's kind of over for Bromo at that point. Surely they must have known that he could have been there, and they're sort of just like shift walking around the corner. Now Miami could put a spoiler in for Tyloo if he would deal with that bomb carrier. It's just a very weird looking round from Bromo in the end, but Tyloo are going to win it.
Yeah, I agree. Plenty of tells that there was going to be an aggressive lurk with the progression smoke over on jungle side.
I mean, they saw it.
Another freebie for Mercury. Yeah. But these are the kind of things that Bromo do that unfortunately just makes them look a little bit second-rate in a matchup like this. Rage last alive here. Wanting to try to take an exit or two, hold on to the M4 if he can. Some nice pre-fire onto Starry, but Tyloo with plenty of cash in the back pocket there on the 3 players that are going to go down here. Looking to go off to a pretty nice start here, 3-0. And not really looking like they're having to work too hard for it.
No, definitely not. Mercury might catch Rage as well. Does do so. Yeah, even if Mercury dies there, I think that nade would have caught him too. So, no gun save for Bromo.
Big 4K. Looks pretty effortless from Tyloo, you know. This is where Bromo, I think they need to do their due diligence, re-clearing the map and actually holding on to map control. It really feels like they play quite stacky. It's a lot of give and take, you know. They take Banana early on, they have 3 players there to fight for it. And despite the fact that they take control, they don't keep a player there. They just send someone to fall back into a retake position and then stack towards A. And that's where, like, Tyloo is just way too easily able to rework back through Banana despite the fact that they're completely out of position. Like, you've got to keep them honest and make them work for this map control if you're Bromo.
Easier said than done when you're holding on to a buy like this. Util starting to get tossed in by Tyloo all over the map. One on the A side, one over towards the B. Couple of smokes. It's a nice boost here from Rage. So the high-low setup kind of works out. It's going to be a retrievable gun, or at least that's what they're hoping for. They've caught Mosey as well. G, oh, he's tossed the bomb away, but that's cost him his life. This is a comedy of errors for Tyloo.
Yeah, getting caught off guard by a cheeky boost. The hero rifle having a lot of impact here. Really, really good round from Rage. Now Tyloo trying to go back, pick up the bomb. Brashov, nice little push in through Carps. That's a dink onto Starry at least, and a little bit more information. It's, you know, reasonable value out of the P250. Molly picked up there for Mercury, so just clearing out some close angles and doing some util pressure towards B, but looks like Tyloo are just going to save this one. Not wanting to hand over additional rifles to Bromo at the end of the round and give more of an economy swing over towards the CTs. So there you go. It's a bit of a missed round for Bromo 1, and not one that I think they'll be able to replicate in the future, but it is at least a little bit of a break.
Yeah. Tell me more about how Inferno should still be in the map pool, because this is just...
Counter-terrorists win.
I don't know. You see it too much. I think, like, just the save simulator on Inferno. Talked about it enough. Not a big fan. I know a lot of people like to, or want Vertigo to be removed, and fair enough. I mean, I don't know if you've been keeping up with all those stats that are being thrown out.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, basically not being played, but, like, man, Inferno as well. I don't know. Inferno grates on me. I guess maybe Vertigo would as well, but I just never get to cast it. I don't think I've cast it with the new changes. I actually don't think I've seen it.
Last time I saw it, I think I was watching Rooster play Mouse. And they almost won. But we don't talk about that. Tyloo, once again, Jam Young applying pressure towards Banana. Brashov with the AWP out, actually. Looking for a pick in towards Carpets, running through the Molotov. Mosey going 1 for 1. Mercury's made it past the point that you might be expecting him as Bromo. Another progression smoke over on jungle side, maybe trying to create an opportunity for him to have some impact here. Jamyoung still holding on towards banana control. There's just no util really left over here for the CTs until Rage really picks up that smoke that's been left over towards main side. Spine re-clearing bracket, so at least a little bit of information, and that bracket re-clear is exactly why Bromo is going to drop that smoke and stack towards B, but that might be a little bit of a misread. We'll see. All comes down to where Tyloo chooses to end this round.
Well, exiting bracket.
Yeah, I mean, they just cleared it, and they're hoping that Bromo will respect that and rotate towards A as a result. They don't, but Tyloo's still making the correct call here. Going to go towards A. It's just Zai on his own, playing at that cold box.
He has commed that across to his teammates. He's heard the footsteps, but they won't be here in time to help him. He's going to need to do it himself. Zai, double kill. Is actually enough to keep this round interesting. Tyloo going to try and put that bomb plant down. Luckily, Bromo don't push through the smoke. Otherwise, G would have been a dead man because Mercury was still clearing out the pit. Turns out G's dead anyway. And it's on to Mercury to clutch out a 1v3. Let's see why he's such a touted player within the Chinese scene. Well, not from this round. And Bromo get a bit more of a reasonable looking round there on the CT side. First round for them, I think we could say, was a Tyloo mishap. Second round, at least they put the round together themselves.
Yeah, I would say so as well. Good stuff from Zai. That double kill from the cold box is very influential there. Again, though, I have to say, you know, Bromo still not taking map control. It's a B stack with 3 players, and then Zai just hoping to double up from the cold box by himself, which he's able to do, but I'm not sure that's something you're really going to be able to replicate as Bromo. Last chance buy here for Tyloo. We'll have to take a single save and get soft reset if they drop this round to Bromo. And that would actually be a pretty tight game at that point. In fact, Bromo might even be favored on the CT side from there. They take a banana control. Tyloo preparing themselves for an A set play here. Bromo trying to throw out some disruptive utility, but still breaking into bracket is Tyloo, but they're getting broken down by Miami in return. At least a couple of trades there from G and Jamyoung, and Zai once again trying to hold on in the site.
Starry to go with a nice little pop flash in the site, but Zai does avoid it. Can't hold strong this time. Can't repeat his heroics from the last round. Still getting some rotators coming across, and Bromo keeping it in their favor. G will tap the plant, hoping to draw out a peek. Won't get one. And in all this meanwhile, the lurk coming through onto balcony might well be his undoing. It all comes down to timing here for G. And he does get the timing, but Spine survives on 1 HP. That's unbelievable. Bromo have gotten themselves another round, and like you say, they're actually starting to look slightly favored here on the CT side. If I would take the nameplates off, I'd be saying, yeah, this CT team's in a pretty good spot.
They are, yeah. Now going into an anti-eco, they've already got pretty good money. Great hold from Miami. This time it's impact on Inferno. I felt like he was not really too impactful on Mirage, but he's starting to have some pretty nice holds. And this time it's Brashov who's gone completely missing, yet to have any impact in the game so far at all. Up fly through from Tyloo here. Once again, a little bit of util pressure from Jamyoung. The rest of Tyloo grouped up towards second min. Molotov going to hold them back for the time being. Starting to get a little bit of a boost in towards second mid if they could get on Mosey's head. Not the best circus performers here from Tyloo. This is banana control, and they've actually dropped off a player in a deep position this time, but they're a little under-rotated. They've still kept 3 players over towards the B side of the map despite the pressure on A, but this is where Miami holding on to Cubs is going to be huge here in a crossfire with Zai.
Well, very easy for Zai. We'll get a little bit of a cheeky timing out Carpets there for 1 kill, but not really too much to comment on there. As far as Bromo is concerned, they're quite happy with the proceedings so far. 4 and 3. CT side getting put together.
Much better game from Bromo here. Tyloo, on the other hand, yeah, the set plays are just not really going very well for them here. They're definitely not having a lot of success on the A side of the map. Zai and Miami have done a great job playing that pit site little duo. Change up here for Bromo. Aggression down middle, not expected at all by Starry. Gets caught completely off guard. Now the rest of Tyloo peeking T-stairs together. Reply in spades. Brashov lucky to walk away from that with his life and just trying to util dump as much as he can to keep himself alive on A until Zai can rotate in.
It's not slowing Tyloo down at all. Brashov. Oh, nice cheeky angle. Almost lines up too. It seems like Bromo are really getting away with a lot of timings, and Zai cleans up another double for himself. I mean, Tyloo, what is happening right now on this T side? Time and time again, they are struggling to get into this A side with any consistency. And another multi-frag is putting G in an awkward spot, which is an unwinnable round. 5-3. Bromo continue to put the rounds together on the CT side, and again, money's pretty stable for them. Starting to scratch my head here a little bit about this one for Tyloo.
I feel like they just keep forcing A. I mean, to be fair, they wanted to change things up, go towards the B side of the map this time, but it was Bromo who took the fight to them, and they felt with those trades and a couple of kills on that A side of the map that they were going to be able to find a timing into A in the mid to late round. Once again, doesn't work out for them. Tyloo maxing out the loss bonus, but without a bomb plant, not able to put a buy together here, so back down onto the pistols yet again. Shut out a banana for now. Util set from Bromo. Keeping them back. Keeping that banana control secured. Tyloo just biding their time. There's the util up over the top. Flashes to retake. Rage just bangs them straight through the flashes. Completely blind. Tyloo not able to get anything going for themselves.
Yeah, might be a tack pause, I reckon, here for Tyloo. Time for one. I don't know if they really use them a lot in these online competitions, but if there were ever a time, I think now is probably it. You're still kind of in a position where this half is going to be salvageable. Honestly, really, you know, you need one or two more and get the job done in the second half, but don't know. We'll see if we get it from Tyloo. Different looking Bromo, isn't it?
For sure. Miami looking incredibly sharp this game. But she was looking sharp in Mirage as well. Most of those kills came after there was really any round-defining impact to be found. Now he's got 120 ADR, and it's nothing but holds from him and most of the other Bromo members as well. 6-3. Rock solid CT economy to continue through pretty much the rest of this half. It's up to Tyloo to play a couple of good gun rounds towards the tail end of things, but we haven't really seen any just yet. Want to see them start to open up the B site. Like, A has just not been it for them.
Yep.
Aggression, down carpets here from Miami. Once again, Bromo, as we get deeper into the half, wanting to continue to change things up. Almost catching Mercury off guard there, but he will stay alive. Util exchanged on Banana. Rage left by himself over towards B, dropped a lot of utility. They forced that smoke out. Now going to make their way back toward bracket, but there are so many players here for Bromo, and with a refresh, Tyloo going to have to wait a little longer.
Yeah, Molotov going to push Starry off as well. Zai would have heard a tick.
Just going to trust the stack, or are they going to go for an aggression with a flash here?
Want to go for some aggression, and it works out. Mercury down early on in the piece. Starry trying to probe for a refrag, but might set himself up for failure here. Honestly, there's still multiple members hanging around.
This is what Bromo were doing well against Huns yesterday, just disrupting with utility. You know, multiple layers of smokes and Molotovs, not allowing Tyloo to get that bracket execute off, and then a flash on the timing, breaking things up. Tyloo calling the audible back towards the B execute.
Wonder if it's come a little too late though, because Bromo already starting to clear out A. They are even already on the flank. They're going to have to be quick here, Tyloo. Smoke's gone in. Rage won't be able to see anything, nor will Spine. But I am concerned Brashov with the fast flank up. Banana could get a lot of work done, and I don't think Tyloo are going to be prepared for that one at all. Bomb plant's going down. Dive in through the smoke. The timing's perfect. Starry's got 2. That's still not enough to win the round. G here would need to get the next frag, and he's able to do at least that. 1 more for G. Don't need to worry about it. AK or AWP, he's getting the job done. Jam Young there to help him out as well. Util is going to go absolutely nowhere for Bromo, and this might finally be another round on the board for Tyloo. Double swing does come through, and they lock it in 6-4. But man, it took a lot of effort to get that 4th round.
Yeah, Bromo was making them work for that. I really loved the way that they were holding bracket there. Just the multiple smokes up on bracket side, mollies into boiler, making Tyloo's life very difficult, and perfect flash timing, like I said, over on bracket side, setting themselves up for success very well. Like I said for Tyloo, though, not a lot of success on that A side. They finally go for a B side ending, and they secure themselves a round. I really think that is the answer here for Tyloo. Like, more B endings in the mid to late round. Regardless of how they start the round, you know, sure enough, if they want to take brackets or cast control, go for that. But I think that the B side endings are working a little bit better for them, because when they're running into this crossfire between the pit and side players, it really has not been going too well. At least for this round. Information has been denied by Tyloo over towards B, and once again, grouped up towards A. Brackets controlled, taken by Mercury here. He's very low, but Tyloo ready to scale straight out of carpets on the timing. Util coming in, flash up over the top of Jam Young. Out comes Starry, fully blind is Zai. Miami trying to dive back into the site in tandem with Rage. Bromo completely out of position there to hold A this time.
Yeah, it's a little bit more like it from Tyloo as well, isn't it? And the moment that you see any Bromo POV, it's like 3 Tyloo members already looking at them, and you know that they're dead. So Tyloo just switching on a little bit in the last couple of rounds here. I've been able to break through and at least get that 5th. I mean, I think a 7-5, you can kind of make work on either side there. So pass score at least established for Tyloo. We'll see if they can go even one better and make it 6-6 to fully recover the half.
Yeah, I think it's already recovered. Like 5 rounds you're pretty happy with. Especially with how this game has started to go for Bromo. They picked up a lot of momentum in the majority of this half, but Tyloo in with a couple, as well as stringing these buys together at the end of the half, not getting, you know, soft reset once again. Had to take their fair share of half buys in this half. They've been praising Bromo for their util usage, pushing and pulling Tyloo around the map and disrupting their plans. That round, though, like I said, I've been praising their pit site crossfire as well between Miami and Zai. That time they were pretty out of position. Tyloo catches them with the carpets pop, and, you know, 2 players are locked behind a moto smoke. The pit side anchor gets fully blinded. That is pretty much worst case scenario for an A-hold.
Molotov going to fly into the face of Rage. He's more than willing to return fire, but sticks around a little too long and cops quite a beating. A lot of util invested into Banana, and so in the meanwhile, Tyloo are just going to charge their way into brackets and take down Miami. Now into CT spawn. They're not slowing down at all. They spotted out Spy, and he's somehow still alive, and he gets 2! What is that? Either way, Tyloo come away a little bit better for it, but Mercury and Starry quite low, and Zai's been a multi-frag monster on this bomb site. Not this time. That's a good trade from Starry. And it's all onto Brashov, who is holding onto, unfortunately, an AWP. Probably not what you'd want in this situation.
Both of these players are pretty low, though. He's got a fair bit of util and can quickly get his hands on a rifle if he wants it, but that would make a bit of a sound cue. Chooses instead to creep up behind the smoke on Dig's side. Not jumping up on top of the car. Off angles there from Starry. Not peeking out. Mercury up behind the box. Finally spotted his Brashov, trying to go for the wallbang through that pit wall. Molotov going to flush out Starry. Beautiful flick, but up on top of the cold box. Not expected, but reacted to well. Brashov going to clutch up a massive 1v2 to give Bromo a 7-5 and the majority in the first half. They worked very hard for it, and they're playing a much better game in map 2 here. And these are probably the highlights they don't want to relive, Jordan.
No, certainly not. But, I mean, when we're looking at Inferno, obviously a little bit of a better one here from Bromo. 7 rounds. It's definitely a nice, stable platform to go into that second half with, but slowly starting to see Tide wake up on this map, and maybe a few sort of crucial minutes in this halftime break that they can use to switch themselves on, because they're going to need it. I think it's a bit of coming back to do for Tyloo. We'll see if they can manage that in a minute or two. We'll take a short break first and then jump into the second half. Second half underway, and the scoreline 5-7, which is maybe a little bit of a surprise, especially after that first map. It looked like Tyloo was going to steamroll their way through this series. Now, a little bit of work to do in the second half. Silent boost there for Bromo into the apartments, and Tyloo with the 4-1 split on A.
Yeah, ready for the some kind of A play. G's holding a flash for bracket here, so we'll see how that all kind of boils down. Dare say it's going to be some kind of reactive flash to whatever Bromo runs up towards bracket side, if that even ends up happening. It seems like they're quite happy to drop off Rage inside of Carps and make their way back towards Banana. Zai making his way through the chicken pit to meet up with the rest of Bromo with the 2 belts of util. Probably just going to be a telltale B execute here. Mosey's there with dualies and a smoke to try to hold. There's the bracket re-clear from Tyloo. In comes execute.
Oh, Mosey tucking himself in the corner. Needs to get 1 or 2 here. He's done a very good job. First one and second. Hiding in that smoke and being a real smoke criminal. Mosey has almost single-handedly won this round for Tyloo. Head absolutely demolished, though, by Rage. But bomb has been dropped in an awkward spot here. Tyloo able to rotate their way across as Rage retrieves the C4. But still has to make his way across the site now with no smoke coverage at all. And Mercury having a bit of a look from construction. So, first port of call has been achieved. The fact that he's been able to cross into the site. But second, which was the bomb plant, impossible along with the pistol round. So Tyloo grab that one, 6-7, and will begin their campaign on the CT side.
You can see not really backing himself too much to win the pistol, but You know, the way that the current meta and economy goes, even just securing yourself that bomb plant after things have started that poorly could give you a great opportunity to try to reply in round 14. Won't be allowed by Tyloo though. So gonna have to be the single save for Bromo. Waiting for round 15 to get this AK buy, and probably down to Galils if they want a little bit more util. Quick smoke to bottom data. Rashif ready with the reactive flash up over the top to try to send some of these Bromo players into Banana.
That's awkward. Luckily, Jamyoung is Jamyoung, and he is him when it comes to Chinese CS. And that's an ace.
That flash really didn't hit where they wanted it to either. He doesn't get blind by that at all. And, yeah, 30 bullets on the A4. Let's go Vici is what his A4 is called, apparently.
I was just looking at it because it's got Vici stickers. What's, is it a... Was it a Twists sticker there on... Because I saw a name, like a signature sticker, but I couldn't see whose it was.
Not sure.
It wasn't Jamyoung.
Giving competitor orcs free advertising though. Not that they're sticking around in CS anyway. Tyloo, contact play up onto Bracket, but it's a nice flash timing from Starry, making their life very difficult. Molotov out from Mercury as well. And Bromo finally dealing with Starry, but it took far too much out of them to get it done.
Oh, what a shot from Spine. Maybe it keeps Bromo in the round. See if one of these Tyloo members does something a little bit silly and gives up. It doesn't seem like that'll be the case. They're happy to allow the bomb plant to go down, and G's going to have to take his time rotating across. Got the Valorante peak coming through there from Jamyoung. MP9 in hand. Spine knows he's under a bit of pressure. This could be huge.
Oh,
it was. It caught both, but Jamyoung still hits his shot. And that is sort of, by de facto, given away Zai's position. Tyloo knew that he was somewhere around pit. And so they will get the round victory and get the lead for the first time here on Inferno.
3 alive too. Beautiful stuff, Tyloo in tandem. Just despite the fact that A's the weak side of the map, they're not playing passively. They're still being proactive, using their util well to try to break things up from Bromo. And I love that kind of play because you see the big commitment, 3 players towards Banana, a lot of util invested to lock down B. The common thing for the T's is to go and take Bracket. You lose one part of the map, you go take another. But Tyloo is just proactively making your life difficult when you try to do just that.
Well, it's a connection from G. Not the one he wanted, but damage is damage, and Rage still scary with that Deagle. I mean, that's one thing you can say about Bromo. They're kind of giving me those Steel Helmet vibes a little bit. We've commented many times upon the Steel Helmet Deagles, and maybe it's just a Chinese Deagle thing at this point. Spine with the Tech 9 is going to try and pick the pace up, but G, he says you shall not pass. He was on 12 HP. But he's not concerned at all because he knows he's going to hit the shot.
It's still been a weird round, even if that kill gets cleaned up, because Bomb was down at T-Says. I was willing Rage to hit that second one. Would have lost my marbles. Alrighty, well, Tyloo in a pretty comfortable position now. Pretty decent money across the board. Bromo maxing out their loss bonus here, trying to string these T-side gun rounds together. Starry all alone over on the A side of the map. Aggression, MP9 purchased up from Mosey. Layered Molotovs and flashes up over the top. Completely tear Bromo apart. No matter where they go, they are losing multiple players.
Mosey's got himself a smoke to play Firefighter with as well, so he doesn't even get pushed out. It's looking better and better. Tyloo on this CT side seem rather confident. And Bromo with only the 3 players. Not too sure what they want to be doing right here. Eventually it'll actually be Tyloo that picks the pace up a little more in this round and decides to take matters into their own hands. Now just Miami left alive, and dare say that Tyloo aren't going to have too many troubles dealing with this one remaining member of Bromo.
He's looking pretty good with the AWP tonight. He's been in pretty good form since he joined up to Tyloo. He was having a bit of a rough time of things towards the tail end of Lin Vision. Just another really nasty set play on the CT side for Tyloo. The way they use their util and take advantage of these very tight timings. Like Bromo's trying to dodge mollies and HE nades and wait for their timing to take map control, and they're pretty consistently getting caught by layered flashes and Tyloo players running at them on brackets or nana. Not something that they've really been ready for.
Starry starting things nicely, but losing his life for his trouble. Snade. Not actually do as much damage as I would have hoped it would have to Brashaf, and round 18 looking a little bit more tentative for Tyloo than some of the earlier rounds, though G's kind of starting to come online with the AWP in hand, and that definitely comes with some kinds of benefits.
Winnable 2-on-3. Just need to find the right avenue of approach, really, for these last two Bromo players. Jam Young throwing up a smoke into B main there. It's going to play out in the open for now. Two smokes on Bromo. Nothing to really bust through and get into the site. Going to run through together, at least getting the 1-for-1. So probably to be expected, really, in that kind of scenario. Going to be a nice and open plan here from Miami and Tyloo. Just playing this XVX by the numbers, playing the buddy system. But this is where Miami aggressing here on the off angle. G's posted up. G is ready for this swing, but they line up perfectly for Miami. Huge clutch for Bromo to give them an 8th round. Problem really being the fact that just Tyloo has built up so much money, they're going to keep buying forward into the next couple of rounds.
Yeah, and the rounds that Bromo are winning are in some cases kind of coming down to those clutches you can't always rely on. We've had a couple of 2-on-1s here on Inferno, which is kind of keeping them in the mix, keeping them in the discussion, but I think it's evident that Tyloo is the better team at the moment. Does feel like it's a matter of time before this series is closed out, unless Bromo can really switch on. As you said, Tyloo, plenty of money, reinvest into this round, and already Jam Young opening things up. He's going to continue to push his way in through that smoke. G's keeping his AWP in play as well. Down to just the remaining 2 players for Bromo in the blink of an eye. This round has kind of just fallen apart. Starry might just end it here. Oh, too many angles to get excited about there, and chooses the wrong one to shoot at.
Oh, hold on. That's a hell of a shot from Miami. Continuing to deliver some really, really nice multi-frags. Spine able to trade that one out. He's on for 2 in this round. Winnable clutch for him. Gonna need another clutch from Bromo to secure themselves another round. Util pressure coming in from Mosey, but really, he's just buying time for Jam Young to try to make his way through carpets, and Spine is not ready for it at all. Tyloo up to 11 now. But bomb plant and the loss bonus here for Bromo should give them another bite. Gonna have a little bit of a lackluster purchase for Brashif and Zai. They'll probably have to go down to the Lils, but the rest of the boys should be good to buy some AKs and utils.
Yeah, good effort from Miami.
I think good effort for Bromo in general. This is what I kind of expected in this series. Like, for me, if Bromo are playing well, and they're, you know, I wouldn't say they're playing to their absolute ceiling here, but this is probably, you know, their B game, I would say. They're pushing Tyloo a little bit, you know. I think their absolute A game, they're stealing a map maybe of Tyloo. They're pushing them very close. But, you know, playing decently enough here on Inferno. Yeah, they definitely did not turn up to Mirage at all. But here on Inferno, it's a reasonable performance to be proud of. And as much as I could, you know, kind of criticize Bromo so far in this class, me and you, Jordan, we've been a fan of these up-and-coming Chinese players for many, many years on various different iterations. We always love to see who's the new hot prospect out of China. And it's these kind of games that give you a bit of an idea of that. Like, Me definitely rating Spine very highly and questioning why maybe he wasn't picked up for Rarana, but actually tonight, I have to say Miami's looking pretty sharp, and he's had a couple of pretty big rounds, particularly here on Inferno.
Oh, we've got a pause. Pretty inopportune time for one. Only a couple of rounds to get over the line here for Tyloo. It's an interesting AK. I reckon that'd be the kind of AK you'd have.
I have a stat check red line.
Ponies, stickers. What do you think about charms? Did you see the charms?
Yeah, yeah.
Did you see the one where you put it on the Galil, and when you shoot the whatever, I don't know guns, bro. The thing on the gun like bounces up and down, and then the charm moves with it if you put it on the. I don't know. I'm not describing it very well.
Good thing it's not your job to speak for a living.
Man, there's already a YouTube video. Best CS2 charm positions. There you go. I hope he's got one for the Galil. Yeah, it's like, I don't know what that thing is called, but it's like, I don't know, I'm just gonna, it's like the thing which you cock when you're reloading it, like when you pull it back. Someone who... Don't do me like that. You know, someone's going to be in the chats and just be like, this guy, like some American guy, like, this guy don't know about guns. and you be goddamn right. Anyway,
I hate to let you know, Jordan, but I don't know if the South is where you're getting all the Counter-Strike players. I'd actually be interested to see the breakdown of, you know, who's playing Counter-Strike where. Okay, best charm patches. Thank you for that, Jordan. I'll watch that after this round, after Rage is done demolishing Tyloo. Big long pause. A G gets his head ripped off. Rage gonna pick up that Dragon Ball. I know at least enough about skins to know that that's worth at least a couple Gs. Brashif, that's not the pick that you would have wanted. Rage has somehow got spammed by Jam Young. How have we lost this round? Where is Bromo going? What is Bromo doing? We had a free B site. Now we're walking out carpets. Miami's found an entry. Miami's been found by Zai. They're somehow going to find a way to win the round. What the hell is going on?
Oh, this is one of the rounds of all time. Put this on Asia CS clip of the day. Zai to try to clutch it out 1-on-2. I think he's got a pretty good read of where Mercury is. Certainly now does. Smokes down. In that meanwhile, Jam Young's making a very swift attempt to get over towards A, and he does win the round for Tyloo, but what a mess. Brashif has just walked out Boiler when they had a B site. He's seen 3 people. He's gone, you know what? I survived that first shift walk out of Boiler. I'm going to do it again.
Where are the comms? B is free. B is open. Just go B. Look at this. The bombs at T stairs at the 2-8 defaulters still have not moved. I'm not going to lie. I feel like this is what it feels like when I've coached like some tier 2 teams where I'm like, come on guys, legit, like, can we just get the basics right? Let's just group up in the mid round as a team and actually hit the side together. It's like, you know, people just aren't listening. Like, what the hell is that? Oh my God. That could have been Bromo giving themselves a chance to win as well. Like, Tyloo's money would really start to get broken. Either way, they need 4 in a row here. Util's a little bit drier for Bromo in this round. They get to middle, punished heavily. Bromo anti-flash. They're starting to cop some of these Tyloo antics, but can they trade Starry? 15 HP or 19 HP clinging to life. He's dropped into second mid. I think that's been heard here. Brashif's ready for it. They've really cottoned on to his position, playing the off angle. He's still not checked. Able to take at least Brashif with him. Now we're going to run through a smoke and... Oh no, not committing to it. Mosley was hiding away in that, rubbing his hands together, but unfortunately, he is empty-handed.
Do they have a smoke? I don't think they do. She's beaten them. And he's missed the shot.
Bro, they used it for Moto because clearly they were going to double peek into CT there.
All right.
That's worked.
That's fair enough. Mosey now on for the clutch here for Tyloo. Doesn't have any real assisting util in the ways of a molly or a nade to dig them out of these positions, but pretty standard crossfire in the post plan here for Bromo. It's one that Mosey's going to have to check eventually. It's just time is of the essence, and he's kind of running out of it. He spotted the player at new box. He's got that one cleanly, and now you've got to check dark, but it's only light for Zai as he keeps the dream alive for Bromo. 12-9. Money starting to dwindle a little bit for Tyloo.
Yeah, Jamio bought up like he was going to have enough for a rifle. You're bloody dreaming, mate. Money is a little skew if for two of these Tyloo players down to like 3k. We'll get some MP9 drops or something like that over and try to put a buy together, but I think it's much more sensible to just take a single save here. Wouldn't mind like a hero orb coming out. Throw G a hero orb this round if I'm Mercury, the way that he's been playing. Man has not missed. Hero orb on G, couple upgraded pistols, and buy up on the next. Yes. Yes, bro. Yes, bro. Come on, throw it over. Who are you kidding yourself? You're not G, brother.
He's like, I've got the armor though. You haven't got your armor yet.
Yeah. Okay, they're gonna buy and drop G and orb. That's the next best thing. As long as G has an orb, I'm happy, because this man has been bloody sublime tonight. Every time we've seen him holding an angle, he's hit the shot. I don't think I've seen a G whiff tonight.
There was one literally in the last round.
Don't remember that, bro. What are you talking about?
Yeah. It's like selective memory.
Maybe G had a 0.9 rating in Lin Vision at the end. I don't know what you're talking about.
Did he actually?
No, I don't know. I actually don't know. I mean, to be fair, I want to forget the last couple of rounds, but here we are. Big swing round for both sides. Both teams running out of money. Chance for Bromo to push us closer to OT. They just need to win this gun round and then probably a half buy and one more gun round. And they could drag us into OT and force Jordan to go to bed past 10 p.m.
It's 11:36 already.
Oh, it's 12:36 for me. I don't know what you're complaining about, mate. Gee.
I gotta get up early tomorrow to vote, mate. There's an election up here.
I vote G for Prez. Oh, I do not vote. Oh, no. I can't. I don't remember that. I didn't see it.
You're gaslighting yourself now.
Oh, man. Bromo. Surely you can't throw a 5-on-3, right? Sorry. He's very optimistic. He's looking for a weapon of any kind. Finally finds an M4. But, yeah. That's going to be around for...
Whoa!
Yeah, almost got a cheeky collat. Did he actually kill... Did he actually hit Zai in the back?
He did. Yeah, he did. I was thinking, like, what if he kills Zai, Mosey kills him, all of a sudden it's a 2-on-1, and Mosey wins. Possible.
We're all good. We're all good. Bromo, credit where credit's due. Couple nice little entries there. Now they got an anti-eco, and then it's just one more gun round, and we'll go into a glorious overtime that hopefully Bromo will win, and we go to map 3. Yeah.
Yeah.
Poggers.
Trying to hold back a yawn as I say that.
I mean, it's an eco. You're allowed to yawn. That's fair. All right, we've had Huns win map 1 against SGGT. IHC have won map 1 against GR and are looking for the 2-0. Love to see that.
Not if you're GR.
I'd love to see that from IHC though. I'm backing the boys.
Sure. Lin Vision Atox pretty close on their first map as well.
I support anyone that gets kicked from Atox. Maybe not someone that walks out though.
Annihilation #1 fan right here. How about a full USP round win for Tyloo?
Nah, not gonna happen. Dreaming.
No way.
Yeah, they're way too good at this game. Look, they've even got Miami on the classic somebody flank. Remember this one?
Yep.
I remember.
Learn from the best. There's G with one on the USP. And Miami's lost his life as well. G's farming up that AWP fund.
It don't matter, bro. Oh, yeah, it don't matter. We're all good. Okay. G, unless he's glass cannons, he ain't gonna have no warp here. It's probably gonna be 5 rifle from Tyloo. Serious point for Tyloo. Bromo fighting to stay alive. As far as I'm concerned, they've already done very well on Inferno here. This is usually a pretty good map for Tyloo. Considering they got a grand total of 2 rounds in map 1. This has been quite a good performance from the boys. Quite happy with what I've seen. Oh, can they push us through to another one? Gonna be a pretty second mid-centric approach here from Bromo. Trying to limit some util here. Gonna be a fast A set play. Util at the ready for G. Spots out a player. They're running straight up into jungle and applying pressure to G. No one's played Firefighter early on there, so there's a fair bit of chip damage.
Oh, G.
And G holds jungle perfectly.
You know what I call that, Pilski? GG. G. Because he actually got 3 kills, but it would have been good if he got 2. Anyway, Brashaf, he's going to try and close this one out for Bromo. I don't like his chances, though, with 10 HP. They did all the hard work to get it here, and they're not going to be able to put it into OT by the looks of it.
Yeah.
Even Jamyoung with the MP9 at this range against the AWP could make it happen. Does he want to play a game of whack-a-mole? No, the nade will get it done from downtown. And the little ragdoll of the head wobble. Unfortunate for Bromo, but look, a much better map from them. I think we have to give them some credit there. It's going to still be the 2-0 for Tyloo tonight. But at least it wasn't a complete demolishing on that second map in the same capacity as what we saw on Mirage, because would have walked away pretty disappointed with that being the case.
Yeah, 100%. I think Bromo's just, they're such an up and down team, both in terms of the team performance, but also the individual players, like Brashov, the perfect example on Mirage. He was the most impactful player for Bromo. On Inferno, he kind of went missing a little bit. So, yeah, I think Bromo is just one of those teams where they're a little bit all over the place. When they're playing their absolute A game, they can even test some of the better teams in Asia. And, you know, if that's your ceiling, then it's very clear that there's some potential there. I would say more so in terms of the individual players. I think that the overall approach and the chemistry and the util usage is very sloppy from Bromo. That's where Tyloo's got them beat every day of the week. But if they can... I mean, I don't know. I don't know whether this is a pug team because they kind of play like one or what their expectations are. But if they are a serious team, the next level has got to be hit by just finding some more consistency in terms of, you know, the individual players' up and down performance, tightening up some of those XVXs, and then just ironing out the util usage and overall approach because, yeah, it really feels like sloppy Counter-Strike when we watch Bromo, but still... playing sloppy Counter-Strike, they can have some decent results against some pretty respectable teams. So that just shows you, you know, how good some of these guys are.
Yeah, it won't be the last we see of Bromo either. That is an upper bracket match, so they'll get knocked down to lower bracket, but still have at least one life here in ESL Challenger League. And honestly, when we're thinking about the sort of pathway forward for a team like this, I mean, early on next year, talk about Extremesland, 4 slots for China. I think Bromo could be a reasonable shout for one of those qualification spots. And, you know, that may be even under the assumption that all 3 slots are going to go to the ones that you'd expect, the Tyloo, the Limvision, the Rare Atom. Those would probably be your top 3 Chinese teams. But, you know, maybe there's a world where one of those teams has a clash and your run-in actually gets made a little bit easier as well. So I think if I'm Bromo, there's actually a lot to play for still at this point in time. So we'll be keeping a bit of an eye on them and obviously catching up with how they go throughout the rest of this lower bracket as well. As far as Tyloo's concerned, I think I probably got what I wanted out of them tonight. You know, would have liked maybe a bit of a cleaner run there on Inferno, but as a general rule, it kind of felt like they were always the better team in this matchup, and it really was kind of an inevitability that they would close it out 2-0. So I think you can't really ask for too much more from Tyloo, and I'll be looking forward to seeing who they're going to play against, whether it's Limvision or Atox, and what kind of level they're going to bring into that matchup. Because realistically, that next game that they play, this upper bracket final, could probably be the grand final prelude. Really, I don't see a huge likelihood for anyone that's not a Limvision or an Atox to make it through to that grand final. I mean, maybe IHC if they go on like some kind of crazy run. I could possibly see a world, but I mean, getting 0-2'd by Atox last night when Atox was playing with 2 stand-ins is not a great sign.
So that was also the qualification game to the LAN final. So Tyloo locked in for the LAN final in China. That's big.
True.
They are probably going to be the favorite for that LAN final, and probably will go in with one of the best seeds. So, look, as far as this qualification goes, you know, it used to be kind of a big deal to place in the grand final and get that Pro League spot and win Challenger as well. At least with this format change, that 2-0 over Bromo, that's already job done for Tyloo here, Jordan. Like, they've secured themselves a spot at the LAN final. That's what you need to do if you're playing Challenger League Asia. Anything else for Tyloo is really just a bit of prac, a bit of extra confidence, and sending a message to some of the other teams here. And yeah, I think that, you know, I'm keen to see what they can do once they head through to that final as well.
I mean, you say that, but there's actually quite a significant prize pool jump as well, I will say, from second to first. I mean, it's 8,000 US for second, 15,000 US for first. And I know that that's obviously going to pale in comparison to getting stickers, for example, or something like that, which Tyloo missed out on. But like,
that's gone now. You know,
yeah,
you take your $7,000. No more sticker money. You need every little bit of dollars that you can get.
Yep. And still got to think about making it through to season 21 of ESL Pro League. Again, obviously don't know exactly what that's going to look like going into 2025, if anything's going to change there. But at least as it stands, the current plan would be you win this season, or you come top 2 in this season, and you make your way through to ESL Pro League. So in achieving this result here, Tyloo have basically put themselves 1 win away from that, right? Like, if they would win their next game, whether that's against Envision or against Atox, they'll go directly into the grand final from the upper bracket final, at which point you cannot drop below the top 2, at which point you have yourself an ESL Pro League spot, which is all thanks really to Mongols for...
Is that how it works though? Because like it looks like when I clicked on the LAN finals, it looks like it's a bracket reset. Like we got an upper bracket final, grand final. There's an upper final, a grand final,
lower
final.
Okay.
So I actually don't think it matters, this grand final. Yeah. It's just a seeding game, I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong about that, but at least looking at the bracket, the double elim bracket for the LAN finals, I don't think that's the case at all, actually.
The grand final is again, things could probably change by then, but it does look like it is a seeding game. Yeah, you're right. Anyway, either way, the point I'm trying to get at is that there's 2 slots at ESL Pro League as it stands right now, and that's great, obviously, and that's again, like, kind of thanks to Mongols for getting the world ranking up enough that they're pretty much going to get the world ranking invite, and they don't have to play in something like an ESL Challenger League, which they have chosen not to because they've got a lot else going on. So, you know, Tyloo kind of have to give the Mongols a bit of a pat on the back for that one if it ends up being Tyloo to go through there. Obviously, you know, a few other teams to sort of get through on the way, but yeah, pretty happy with it from Tyloo at this point.
For sure. I think they can probably do some decent damage in a tournament like Pro League as well. So, yeah, I'm keen to see what we're going to get from them.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I mean, I guess at that point, this is pretty much the end of the night. I don't know what else you want to say, Pilsky. Is there anything else on your mind when it comes to tonight?
I mean, looking at the other games right now, looks like, say, GG team is going to take a map off Huns. IHC and GR is getting very close in the second map. That's an interesting game. And also, Linvision Atox is quite close right now.
Indeed. All right, well, I would suggest you go and watch those games because we're done here for our game between Tyloo and Bromo, and I'm sure you can figure out where to find those other games, but ESL CSB is where at least one of those will be going on, so make sure you tune into that one. Otherwise, we'll be back tomorrow. A little bit of an earlier start for us, at least, Pilsky, because Oceania kicks off tomorrow for their playoffs, so we'll be there for Oceania and there for Asia. Make sure you jump on for those ones. We'll see you then. Bye.